Welcome to our exclusive training. You're obviously watching this training because you found the hidden link that we only make available in the actual cards that we send out with testimonials, with case studies, with the stories of our clients, just like you, who are navigating through the process of building business credit and having success in doing so. And those cards really help you know what's possible as you build your business credit. And we also include these secret hidden links even to reward you for taking the time to check out the actual client test success stories. In this training, we really go over things that we don't talk about often in any other kind of training. Definitely not things that you'll see us mention online or anywhere else. This really is exclusive only to the videos that you're actually accessing through these hidden links. So today what I want to talk about is the key to success with getting a good business credit score. So let's take a look at a commercial credit report. So as we look at this commercial credit report, and by the way, all the commercial credit reports that we show in any kind of video like this, we have permission from our clients to access, but we wouldn't even need permission because remember, this is public information. Anybody can pull these same reports that I'm showing you now, including your customers, your prospects, your clients, anyone looking to buy your business or invest in your business. They can all access your business credit report, which is one of the reasons you want to continue to work on growing it. So when we look at scores here, like if, for example, this is an Experian report, and this is available and this has the IntelliScore on it, which is one of the most popular credit scores in the business credit world. The Paydex score offered by Dun & Bradstreet is the most popular score, and the IntelliScore is the second most commonly used score. Both D&B's Paydex score and IntelliScore both range from 0 to 100, with 100 being low risk and 0 being high risk. So as we look at this, we see a low risk, a risk category 1. You can see here the risk categories, right? So 75 to 100 is lowest risk you can get, risk category 1. 2 is 50 to 75. 25 to 50 is the third category. Fourth category is 10 to 25, and fifth is 0 to 10, the highest risk you can get. So what's interesting about this commercial credit report is a couple things. First of all, when we look at it, we see a good score, a 90 out of 100, right? The score only goes to 100. We're at 90 right here. So we are on the high end of the low risk category. So this is definitely low risk. Okay, this risk class group scores by risk in the range of similar, and it kind of explains how that works on the credit report. What's also interesting about this is the reasons that the score isn't higher. The number of accounts reported, the length of time somebody's built their credit profile. So in reality, somebody has an extremely high score, extremely low risk, and Experian's even saying they've done this without having a lot of accounts on the credit report and without being on the credit report for a very long time. So this is somebody that just started building business credit, and they're succeeding here, even though they don't have a lot of accounts, they don't have a lot of time on file. And if we look down here, their actual trade lines, we see they only have 2 trade lines. They have a packaging account, which is probably a Uline account. It was recently used. The highest amount that was used was only $200 on the account. Commercial credit reports don't show limits. They only show the recent amount of credit you've used. And there's a credit card account that reports on there that hasn't even been used recently. But what we see is we see no late payments. If there was late payments, we'd see indicators of a late payment here, or even 91 days plus. But since all of this shows that there are no late payments on any of these accounts, none from 1 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, and none from 91 plus, then what that means is because this person's just paying these accounts as agreed, that's what instantly gets them the good score. This is the way with all 3 reporting agencies. Equifax and Dun & Bradstreet scores are strictly based, only based on how you pay. You pay your bills on time or early, you get a good score. With Equifax, almost 85% of their scores based on payment history, nearly all of it. So because of that, with all 3 of them, as long as you get accounts like we see on this report, you pay them on time or early, that alone will get you a good score, even if you don't have a lot of accounts, even if you don't have a credit profile established for a long period of time. So let's talk a little bit more about this. When you come in and you get accounts through the Finance Suite, the most important thing to do is find the accounts that you want, apply. Once you're approved, you can start using those accounts. Now, once you use those accounts, you absolutely want to pay the bill as early as you can pay pay it where it's still considered to be credit. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you're coming to an account like a net 30 account versus a revolving account, then what happens, or actually let me just say for with any account, let's use Staples here for an example. Well, you're considered to be issued credit only when the item has actually shipped. That's when the timer starts ticking of where it's actually considered the credit being issued. So let's say you came here and you only got a net 30 account with Staples, not the revolving. And let's say that Staples, you bought something from them and you wait and the item gets shipped, that's when you want to pay the bill. If you went in and purchased something from Staples and paid the bill before it shipped, it actually wouldn't be considered trade credit or net 30 terms. It would be the same as paying cash. So let's say you got a net 30 account with Staples, you bought $50 worth of stuff, and you bought it, the transaction went through, then you immediately went in and paid that $50. Well, you would never see that account actually report to the reporting agencies, because what happens is it would be considered to be a cash transaction. Yes, you did buy it for credit initially, but since you paid the bill before the item shipped, it would actually be considered to be a cash transaction. So yes, for your credit's sake, you want to pay your bills as early as you possibly can within it actually being considered credit. And by that I mean you have to wait till the item gets shipped. Once the item gets shipped, then my advice is to try to go pay the bill right away. Now, you can't always do this. So for example, a lot of credit issuers, Staples included, will not actually let you pay the bill or even show a balance until they initiate a statement for you. So if you go in and buy a bunch of stuff with Staples and then you get an email stating your item is shipped, you may log in and try to pay the bill, and they don't let you pay the bill because the statement hasn't even generated. So when that happens, that's okay. Just keep an eye on that on a regular basis to make sure that as soon as that statement's generated, maybe even before you get it in the mail, you pay the bill. Wait until after the item is shipped to pay it. Tip number one. Tip number two is the minute the item is shipped, try to pay it if you can. If they will not let you pay it, keep an eye on the statement, and as soon as you can pay it online, or as soon as you can pay it, pay it. Some you can pay online. Some you have to call them to pay. My advice is to not mail them a check. Try to call them and always pay over the phone or pay online, because the mailing of a check alone could take 3, 4, 5, 7 days for them to process. Well, when your scores are basically only based on how you pay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days is the difference between an 80 and a 90 score, a 90 or 100. An 80 score, for example, means that you pay on time with Dun & Bradstreet. A 90 means you pay early, and 100 means you pay within the discount period, really early. So the difference between 80, paying on time, and 100 is how early you pay. This person has a 90 score because they're paying the bills they do have early before the statement is due. So if you get a statement in the mail, for example, from Staples, and Staples says that the payment is due the 15th of the month, well then, and you have the bill on the 1st, don't mail the check, because if you mail the check, they might not even process it till the 7th, and even then, you will be paying early, but the difference between paying that bill immediately online or mailing it and waiting that week would literally be the difference between a 90 and a 100 score. So the key to getting good business credit is two things. One, get a good score. Two, build as many trade lines as you can. The more trade lines you have, the more accounts you have reporting on your business credit reports, and the better you pay them, the earlier you pay them. The earlier you pay them gives you a good score. The more trade lines you have gives you the depth on the credit report that helps make you lendable, and helps get you access to a lot more credit. So go through, make sure you're applying and getting accounts, make sure you're using them. But as soon as you use them and they ship the item, make sure you get in and pay the bill as early as possible, as soon as you can. Don't mail checks. Pay online, pay over the phone, do whatever you can do to pay as early as they'll let you pay. That is the key to getting the good scores that help you get loans and credit lines, and also help you get the good scores that get you access to more and more and more credit without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. So follow these tips to get the best scores for your business, so then you can qualify for even more credit and build that awesome credit report and foundation to get loans and credit lines to grow your business.